motion on the document.
Ready? Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call this meeting to order. Harry, on the roll call.
Here, Mayor, Deputy Mayor Weiss is here, Trustee Rosner, Trustee Feldman, absent, Trustee Gutman is absent, Attorney Miguel, Engineer Fusco, Isaac Epstein, and clerk.
Thank you. It's in the record. Today, September 23rd, 2024. About 8:04 p.m. Now, there's no comment I'm going to make. Therefore, we're going to go to public comments. Madam,
Oh, yeah, Diana, George Drive. My comment is actually an apology. I want to start with an apology to the planning board members. Because I don't know if you paid attention to it or watched that meeting. There were an awful lot of plans that came in with multiple houses. Not one was a single house, but they were doubles and two-family homes and four two-family homes and three two-family homes and all of this wanting municipal water and sewer. And my thing was, in fact, what's coming up down the road with 24 homes wanting municipal water and sewer, it's really going to be fun. But I accused them saying that maybe they were working with the developers because obviously everybody has a water restriction here. That's what you talk about every time you have a meeting, George. And so obviously it's not in the best interest of the people who live here to continue to expand with more people wanting municipal water and sewer. And after the meeting, I spoke to some board members, they called me over, and they said, really, it's not in our power to have a moratorium. That's the board that's supposed to create the moratorium in times of need for that. And it's not within our power to create a comprehensive plan. Again, it's the board. So, board members, it's up to you. You have not done a moratorium when you have water restrictions for as long and as bad as you've had them, and you have not created a comprehensive plan so that the developers can rely on that plan to create their plans for development. So I guess my question would be, are you going to do any of that? Most municipalities have a comprehensive plan, and this one does not. So what are you doing to help these board members, because their hands are tied? And that was coming from them, not from me. So I do apologize to them, but I'm laying it down on you. You have to, if you are real concerned for your constituency, you can't continue to have people build and expect to have water that's potable and in the quantity they need when you don't have it now. Now, Joel Stern said, well, we're supposed to get the water from Clovewood, which apparently, from what I've heard, no, you can't have those wells. And there's another well, Mr. Rother was representing the person who was going to give that to the village. Of course, a well has to be connected to everything. And bottom line is, even if you can get it connected, this is all speculation.
30 seconds.
So, yes, yeah. And speculation does not help a developer have water for the buildings they want to build now, which you may never get that extra water. So I suggest you do something and stop complaining about prior administrations, as Joe likes to do.
5 seconds.
Yo, how about being more respectful, Mr. Stern? She's having a nice conversation.
2 minutes.
You know? You didn't
Come
tell
on,
me
come
that.
on.
Order. Please,
2 minutes is up.
order.
You didn't tell me that.
May
May
3 minutes
I?
is a public comment.
And
You
can-
all know it.
It's
You
right.
want to
Yes, yes.
stop all the public comments, I can do that. But 3 minutes there is.
I understand this
We
is
were
a
just
nonsense.
saying, because he decided to change it. And by the way,
We go
he
to-
does not, he is an employee. You guys are elected. He does not have the legal responsibilities that you have. You may want to consult with Mr. Ugel to what level you're responsible versus him.
Okay, can we?
Thank you for your-
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please, next comment, please.
Dan, go ahead.
Oh,
You're next.
okay, well, all right, so the same meeting that Bonnie was at, was a lot of site plans, a lot of things being passed through the board, and I had a lot of questions, specifically
What's your
with,
name, ma'am, please?
specifically with,
What's your
local-
name, please?
Specifically
What's your
with
name,
a
please?
local
That's your
law.
name.
What's your name?
And your address.
What?
Specifically.
What's
Might as
your
well
name
move on to the
and
next
address?
one.
So, we're not gonna
We're
proceed.
gonna go through the
this way.
sign
We're not
and
gonna
say
do
to the
that.
planning
So
board.
Mayor, public comment, the signature recall,
That's it.
we can't have
Not
an
gonna-
order, we
not
come
gonna
back,
comply,
we should
we're not
call off
gonna
public comment to move on with the
She
agenda.
just said her name was Jody because I.
Name and
You're
address.
an employee.
Well,
You don't
you-
get to tell.
What's your
the
name?
board-
What's your
Excuse me,
name?
Mr. Ugel,
Don't,
please.
I don't wanna hear.
I'll give one for the officer. I don't need it. I don't need it.
I need your name and address.
I'm not, I want,
My-
he better settle down, because we had a
Relax.
problem with him the other day. I'm not gonna
Relax.
tolerate anything tonight.
Listen,
Nothing.
everyone,
You wanna limit people's speech, that's the
Can we let
problem.
Sit down,
the
sir.
lady speak, please?
I'm here, my name is Jody.
I don't see a drill instructor's hat on your head, so
We
you
all
gotta watch
good?
the way you
Please
talk
go
to me.
ahead.
All right,
So
We
anyway.
gotta do the sign in with the.
same thing do
Same
here.
thing with planning board, we have no choice.
Okay,
Makes
Whether or
sense.
not I signed
Go
it
ahead.
does not change what I'm about to
Go
say.
ahead.
we going to discuss that at the time. Right now, you may speak. Appropriately is to give your name, your address, and that's it.
Thank you,
That's how we've been doing it, 4 or 5 years that I'm here,
thank you.
okay?
My
You
name is
speak.
Jody, I live in Washingtonville.
And you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. So one of the things I had questioned was a local law amending chapter 235, okay, which was introduced to the planning board on May 16th and passed as a resolution here in the village June 24th. Okay, and this was amending a lot of things. It was including new definitions, establishing a new residential district for small lot development, removal of all overlay zones, and replacement of the table of bulk requirements. I'm gonna read to you what the comments are. This was made prior to ever being introduced into the village. The department has received the above referenced local law and has determined that the intended land use has the potential to cause intermunicipal countywide impacts. The proposed changes to the definitions are unlikely to have intermunicipal impacts. The definitions. The village has submitted their determination. The proposed project has no significant impacts. The county, as an interested agency, disagrees with the assessment. The proposed residential B district will allow for significantly increased housing density in the village, allowing for a new zone in which the net area per lot may be as small as 10,000 square foot and may allow for condominium or other zero-lot shared wall development. This potential to substantially increase wastewater disposal in Satterley and Moodna Creeks and eventually into the Hudson River. A substantial discharge from dense housing development has the potential to affect the health of the Moodna watershed as a whole and the area of its confluence with the Hudson River, which has been deemed irreplaceable. Significant coastal fish and wildlife habitat by the New York State Coastal Zone Management Program. This habitat could be impacted by the change in surface water quality where this proposed discharge could create. Additionally, the proposed new residential district has the potential to substantially increase population in an area known to experience periodic water shortages. Additional population in one or more dense housing development of this nature will further deplete the village's limited potable groundwater aquifer supply and exacerbate the already limited potable water supply. This local law further proposes to remove existing protections for the village's current water supply through the removal of all existing overlay districts. The wellhead protection overlay and the surface water overlay districts provide protections
30
from
seconds.
contamination entering the limited potable water supply available within the village. The Ridgeline Overlay District protects the water supply from siltation and other contamination by soil erosion. The Significant Biological Overlay District protects the health of the overall ecosystem. The removal of these overlay districts has the potential to cause significant adverse
10
impacts to the ecosystem, water quality, and water supply of the village of South Boone Grove when those issues are already known to be at risk. You all passed a resolution allowing this, which was already denied by Orange County Planning. I hope you all heard this.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Chris.
I have a comment. So, concerning the garbage,
Name and address, please.
concerning the garbage,
Name and address, please.
concerning the garbage. Gonna ask again, or we're gonna go back and forth, or we're good?
We're not good.
Not good.
We're
We're
not
not
good.
good?
No, we're not good,
Uh-huh.
sir. You don't get to make up.
See
your
this,
own rules,
Sheriff?
sir.
You can't ask for my identification, no different than that officer right now can ask anybody in this room for their ID. It's Fourth Amendment. I have a right. It's called the Fourth Amendment. The one I signed to protect your right, your life, your life, your life, her life, his life, and your life. You're not gonna take away my Fourth Amendment right, and you're not taking away my First Amendment right. Now, if you don't want me to speak, and you won't allow me, I'm not gonna cause a scene here. I will leave, but you just say I can't speak.
Fine. Leave, if you wanna leave, leave.
You're not
You want to
respectful
leave.
to yourself or
Welcome
to
to
anyone
leave,
in the
sir.
room. By the way,
You'll-
Mr. Mayor, this is not a public hearing, and public
Correct.
comment is optional as a courtesy.
Right.
If you
I
let
think-
one person speak, you have to let all
I think
speak.
at the next meeting, we should remove public comment, and everybody, all of the residents should thank Mr. Verdera for making us remove that. This is just a courtesy.
Okay, I'll take
You're
that
You're a
responsibility.
disrespect to yourself.
I'll take that
That's it.
responsibility
It's a
then,
public
Mr.
forum,
Stern.
respect.
Public
the forum.
forum,
That's
exactly.
right.
It's a public.
Thank you, public forum, exactly.
Thank Chris for
So when I
allowing for
speak, Mr.
bringing
Mayor, would
things
you allow
up.
me not? Because if you don't want me to, I will leave.
That's not,
Out of
we
respect for
thank
you.
Chris. Come on
You're
now.
welcome.
Welcome to leave.
You're welcome to leave. You're
Thank
welcome
you
to
for
leave,
your
sir.
suggestion.
You're
Please,
not-
Chris, have-
There's the door, you're welcome to leave.
He is the mayor. You would need to listen to him before you listen to
I'm
Joey.
listening to what is being said, and if you don't like it, you're welcome to leave. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm asking, I'm prohibiting my speech.
Excuse me,
George is the mayor. Let him speak.
nobody's prohibiting the speech.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
But, one thing I want from you, and this is not the first time it's been happening. I need you, when you speak, to speak the civilized way. When I say civilized
How
way.
I speak is
without
my
yelling,
business, not yours. You can't regulate my speech.
You need to speak.
Stop thinking you can regulate
Here we go.
speech. You
Mr.
can't.
Here we go. Here we go.
You can't regulate my
Here we go.
speech.
You have to raise
You
your voice.
can't regulate my speech.
I am not, I'm trying.
You can't
I'm
regulate my
asking you,
speech.
I'm asking
I'm
you.
telling you no.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor.
I think we should terminate public comment
I
for
think-
this
I
meeting
think
and move on with
he's
the
not
agenda.
concerned
We're just
about
wasting
it, but
everybody's time.
And he's
It's
creating
just a disruption to the public. It's
It's
supposed
not
to be
right.
civil,
It's
One
not
civil,
right.
civil
Right,
disruption.
whatever you want.
Let's move on with the agenda.
Okay.
Terry.
No, we let one, we gotta let everybody, but we'll discuss that.
That's right. You let one,
for
you
the
gotta let
future.
everybody.
We gotta discuss that for the future.
Thank you, Mr.
If
Mayor.
if we stop the comments, we will. And I already, got that from the NICOM that we don't have to have any comments, public comments.
I understand that, but if you have a public hearing, you do.
We know a public hearing now.
If you have a
It's not a
hearing.
hearing now.
But this
Correct.
is a regular meeting, therefore.
You didn't have to. You
It's
did
a
not
shame
choose.
that we have to stop that.
You blame me instead of you.
I did
I
not
get
say
it.
I'm not saying, I'm not blaming you. I'm
State your
blaming
name and
those
address, and
who are not,
Give me your ID right now.
so we'll stop public
You
comments.
give me
Thank
your ID,
you.
I'll give my name and address. How
We'll
about
stop
that?
public comments. Thank you for Chris.
are we gonna continue?
Go ahead.
You don't wanna speak?
Huh?
Chris, speak.
Oh, I thought I couldn't speak. I'm sorry, I can speak. I just want to speak on the garbage.
Who says that?
Well,
you
I took
wanna
that,
speak?
mine was that thing I got from Mr. Ugal, so. The garbage. I want to know where the power comes for you to tax the residents. Well,
Let it go. Let it go. We'll
Keep on
discuss this
going.
in the future. Go ahead, speak.
stay.
Come on.
I feel I'm being treated unjust.
Go to Radon.
Have a nice day.
Go to Radon.
I'm good, Rick. Look at how you speak to us. You talk about courtesy and respect,
And you don't
but what
say-
do you give us?
I'll speak about
We're
courtesy and
sitting here
respect.
quietly listening, and you're chastising us and talking about courtesy and respect. What do you give to us?
We'll have a word about courtesy and respect in this meeting.
Well, I know what it means. I'm an engineer. I got 2 master's degrees. I know about it, but I'm not getting it from you guys. The man wants to speak.
Nobody's stopping him from speaking.
It sounds like it.
They are not stopping him. I am in charge here, not them. He chose to leave, that's his business.
Got it.
He should speak if he wants to. That's it.
That's it.
If I let her, he's allowed to speak too. But he chose to leave, therefore, ma'am, go ahead.
Barbara Newman, 364 Lake Shore. First issue, I just wanted to clarify something that Joel Stern said last week about the garbage. Yes, in fact, prior to the establishment of the village, there were 2 pickups, one for garbage, one for recyclables, and the receptacles were much smaller, so we didn't change the number of pickups. I asked about the synagogue, and he had referred me to Simon Schwartz, the synagogue on 263 that hasn't changed in the last year. He said that they'd run out of money, there was a problem with water, they have no money to be able to finish it, it'll be 6 months after they get it, and he suggested maybe I should get donations. I'm pleased to find out that we have monies for the water, but I'm very interested to know what your projection is. When do you project, once we have the money, that it will go forward and be completed? What is the expectation? Are we expecting that there will be no more water needed to be trucked in? Will the rust be removed from all of the village, part of the village? Will we be off of water restrictions? So I'm interested to know how long and what our expectation is. Okay. In reading about the stench in Monroe, I had never realized that we were a part of the cause of that. And now learning it and learning that we have the ability to be able to fix it, I don't understand why we haven't over the last 2 years, but now's the time. It's nasty. I've always wondered why it was there. If you walk around there, it's really pretty miserable. They say that us old people should worry about it, no matter what. And it's not just us. We're putting it upon the people in Monroe, which is unfair as well. So I think we need to go forward with that. And I'm interested in who the point person for the sidewalks is, who's on the board, because I'd just like to have a chat sometime. The sidewalks? We're getting ready for sidewalks? Hello?
We'll address it after public comments.
Okay. That's me.
Thank you very much.
Ma'am? Yes?
I don't know where to begin. The first thing, you said the one thing you wanted from Chris. Let me tell you the one thing I want from you. Where are you? You are never in attendance at these meetings. We have so few a year. Why is it too much to ask? You're busy growing marijuana in Warwick, but you can't be here for a meeting. I find that offensive.
Madam, I've only missed one meeting, I think maybe
No,
in 3 years.
That's not true,
And
because
that-
I've
and
not
so-
seen you at several, so
Well,
that's not true.
So I don't agree with
And
you,
as
and
far
I
as the
appreciate
mayor
you saying
goes-
what you're saying. So it's not accurate, so please don't
It
make
is accurate.
I
We
know
can
it's
go
always
back and
about
look at
me.
attendance.
Thank you very much.
The other thing is, Mr. Stern was not voted in, right? That is correct. So I don't know how he gets, I have serious concerns about conflict of interest that he has in a lot of the decisions that are being made. That's another thing. Mr. Fusco, you were at the last meeting I attended, which was not the last one, the one before. Someone wanted to speak to the code enforcement officer. That is you. Why were you such a coward? You had an
I'm going to
opportunity
answer
to
that
raise
because
your
I've seen
hand.
it twice listed. I've been to 50,000 meetings in my life, alright? I'm usually the engineer, the commissioner, somebody of significance to the board. I work for the board. The board has public comments. If they want me to answer, they ask me to answer. I don't talk to the public back and forth and have a debate.
You also don't answer any of my emails about anything.
I don't.
About zoning, about violations of zoning, about 24 Marywald Lane North,
Okay.
which is listed online as a 3-bedroom, but it's on another site as an 8-bedroom, that's housing an illegal
that's
car
why
service, so you also
I
don't
don't-
answer that. You don't return
So I
calls to
go
your
back and
client.
forth. If the mayor asks me to answer a question, I will answer the question.
In addition, Mr. Stern said 2 meetings ago that Carrie, you were the contact for questions. I've emailed you 4 times, no response. No response asking you who made the decision.
I responded this morning.
Well, I emailed you on July 31st, August
And I
19th,
responded
and 8/21.
to every
Maybe I didn't check. No, you didn't.
Yes, I
No,
did.
you didn't.
Okay.
We got a notice in the water. I contacted the Orange County and Department of Health regarding our water. They said, it's tested in our water bill. The font size was microscopic. I could barely read it, but it says you're not testing for a lot of things. So why is that? Why is that?
You got 30 seconds.
It would have been nice for us who signed up for email and text to get a notice that the last meeting was canceled. Mr. Fusco used some of my time. I want to, along her comments, the high levels of hydrogen sulfide impacts respiratory systems. Yet we had a cheese festival. We had a carnival there. Shouldn't there be a warning? Does anyone care about the health of this community? The illegal taxis are a tremendous problem. Monroe cracked down on them. Why are we not? The EPA is in the village, so you were wrong when you told me they were not. I can go on and on. If you Google the village of South Blooming Grove, New York, and click on news, you might want to do it. It's 2 pages of negative things that are all caused by this board.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you
for your
very much.
comments.
Thank you.
Sir?
You wanna-
No comment. Ma'am?
Yes, I have something to say. My name is Marin Souls. I live in 5 Lone Oak Circle. I live literally right next to the water plant. The water, when I tell you it's black, it comes out black. And I live right next to it. I have 3 kids at home. This is insane. The amount of water that I have to buy at Walmart, it's insane. I don't know what it is that you guys doing, and to be honest with you, I haven't been keeping up, but please, something really has to be done. I think it's very unfair.
What's your address?
5 Lone Oak Circle.
I don't know.
I'm literally right.
Blown up.
It comes out
Was it
black,
still
no matter
black
what
today,
time.
by the way?
Taking a shower in the morning, brushing my teeth, trying to cook. It's too much. Something really has to be done. I know there's a lot of projects going on in this neighborhood. I know a lot of people are moving into this neighborhood. I've been in this neighborhood long enough to see the change. I don't really say much, but I see the change. And I think it's very unfair for the people that have been living here for so many years to still live with this water like this.
And the new people.
And I don't really know much about the new people. I keep to myself, but I'm telling you, it's frustrating. Sir, you don't know the amount of water that I have to buy. I go to Walmart weekly, and I have to buy 3 and 4 packs. I think it's so unfair.
You do. You all do.
And I don't know if you guys have seen or live in the village, but please, something needs to be done.
Thank you.
I thank you. And I'll tell you one thing, since we have some money we will work on it very hard. First, we gotta get that fund.
And it's not like I could say, from
It's not
3
gonna
to 8, I could cook, brush my teeth, and it's not like that. In the morning it's dirty, at night it's dirty. I try sometimes to tell my kids, okay, let's try to take a shower before 9 o'clock because it gets even worse after 9. It's just too much.
I can assure you and everybody, we will do our utmost, see what we can do to clear that water up.
Worst after 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.
We are,
9 p.m. because we get home late.
No, I was just wanting to.
But but in the morning when I turn on the water to brush my teeth, I have to tell my youngest daughter, wait a minute. I have to go downstairs and get her bottle of water so she can brush her teeth. I think it's so unfair.
We are not ignoring that, believe me, because not only you or me or him, but just about the whole village.
I'm
And we
just,
know we have issues with the water, we all know.
But you
My
support
thing is
building.
that I
Huh?
live you're right next to the water plant, and it's just like gushing blood. It's
And
too much.
that plant you're talking about cost us $1 million.
Well, I don't know what they're doing or how are they working it, but it's bad.
Thank you, we'll try, we'll see what we can do to make it fixed, because honestly, I am tired of listening water problems.
If you had been at the last
Honestly.
meeting, you would have seen it, I brought it in.
I seen it.
I also have another thing. My next door neighbors are Jewish, and I try to help them out. I know the young lady has a lot of kids, but the amount of buses that come in my cul-de-sac,
I'm not
it's
allowed.
4 and 6 buses a day. And the school bus from our district doesn't even go in there. My kids have to walk, and it's a pretty long way. I think maybe something needs to be changed. I mean, 6 buses in a
If it's
cul-de-sac is a
illegal,
lot.
there's a
It's-
police
actually,
department
they're
who
not
can handle
allowed.
that.
They're not allowed in the cul-de-sac, and I called about maybe 3 years ago, and I used to only have 1 bus coming in the cul-de-sac. Now I have 6 buses coming in the cul-de-sac.
At lightning speed today.
Yes, and we were
Thank you.
talking when
Thank you.
that happened.
Thank you very much.
Please.
Sir?
I understand that the last meeting was postponed, you had a death in your family, if that's the case, my condolences, and my
Thank you.
family's condolences to
It
you.
was heartbreaking.
It has to be lost to a child, so my condolences to you.
Thank you, sir.
I won't use the word cowardice, I'll use the word disappointment, that at the last meeting in August, we mentioned at public comment, numerous issues involving code enforcement. And it was disappointing to know that the person in charge of code enforcement chose not to. I mean, I think it's pretty weak to say that I go at the behest of the mayor. You go at the behest of the residents. And if we have questions, we would not mind to hear from that person who's in charge of it. So at any particular meeting, if this person is here and is in charge of it, let that person speak. The code enforcement officer was there and he chose not to speak. That's disappointing. Why are they on the board of that case? And so to continue, opposed to the tax on this new tax that's coming in. I tell people I've never encountered a more unresponsive board that really just does not pay attention to the residents at all. I think I've gotten more responses from a brick wall than I have from this group right here. And then to see on the agenda, you're further limiting the speech to 2 minutes. I don't think anyone's really in a rush here that a minute is going to make that much of a difference. So that and the video of Mr. Stern throwing away papers that residents are bringing to him based on our concerns, I think that's further evidence that the board has no concern for the issues of our residents, including the water. Water continues to be black, yet the construction continues. There have been, 13 or so violations that was brought up, and it continues to. 2 more things. That August 26th meeting, the appropriation of $100,000 to fix some property, it was never answered as to who the owner of that property is. Are we appropriating $100,000 for property owned by Mr. Stern? I think the residents deserve that as an answer. And finally, I was sitting next to a gentleman at the August meeting, and many issues about safety, children walking through the streets without supervision. It's something dealing with children should be universal. And so we turned around at 2 gentlemen who were there and they said, don't you care about the children that are there? And he came back to the August 26th meeting because they were identified by name if they wanted to have comments. And we asked them, well, don't you care about the safety of your children? They said, no, we don't care.
19 children hit, 5 dead, including a 2-year-old recently.
That says a lot when those 2 gentlemen said they don't care. And once again, it was, well,
That's not true.
were you the 2 residents of it? You told us you didn't care.
Please stop.
It might be up.
Let's not go back and forth. You said what you had to say, thank you.
Fair enough.
And I respect.
But we know we hurt.
I've been saying that just about every part of the green, especially summertime. Please drive carefully. There's children playing on the street. And
Have you contacted the DOT to see about reducing the speed limit? Has anyone? I paid for the signs that say please slow down.
we
Because
already,
I'm not gonna watch a child die unnecessarily. You've done nothing.
And Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry for speaking out of turn. So if you go to the Eames bus website, I put up a picture of taking it. It's like, you know me, I'm right there on Houston Avenue. Kids were hanging outside the window. If that bus makes a sudden stop, there were more kids standing on the bus than sitting. If that bus has to make a sudden stop, those kids leaning over the bus driver are going through the windshield.
that's something that's a bus drivers.
But I
take
took the
care of.
picture, it's on the Eames website, I put the number of the bus, everything.
I'll tell you something, it was a bus, school bus, a stop. And there was, maybe she was 3 years old, this girl. Right in front of me, I was driving the village car, and actually, she was so cute. And I stopped till she made it through. I wish a lot more people do that. Kids are kids. He just came out of the bus. She's going home. She's excited to go home. Yeah, and the mother should have been there. I agree. But you know what? I hope that kid lives 100 years old because she was so adorable. Thank you. Thank you. And I don't, ma'am, nothing? Anybody else?
Oh, there.
Please do.
South Blooming Grove is a part of the town of Blooming Grove, is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Can I just have your name for the minute?
My name is Simon, and I live in Monroe. I would like to know why the South Blooming Grove town refuses to give the town any permits so that they can process their governmental things. You refuse to give the town permits. Okay, I work there.
Which town?
Of Blooming Grove.
What
Why
kind of
is
permits?
that? Why is that?
What kind of permits?
All your permits. All your permits, like in the past, we've always gotten every permit. I've gotten blueprints if I needed them. You refuse to give them. They were foiled and you still refuse. Why is that?
Finish?
That's it, thank you. Anyone else?
Comments?
Anything else?
Anybody else? Okay. Close, close.
You done, sir?
Yes.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Jody, I live in Washington now. Just real quick, it's been a while since we've talked
Did you
about
have
that.
your 2 minutes?
Sure, we have.
The mayor's letting you speak.
Yeah, submit comments.
Mayor is like, not Joel. Let's look at the mayor.
That's done.
Come on. Okay.
Hopefully you'll be here next time. You
Resolution.
can have your-
Or submitted by writing, please.
Resolution.
All right, let's go to the resolutions.
Oh my God.
It's a shame.
But emphasizing my point. That's what's the rush?
Yeah.
Can she have my 3 minutes? Just yield
Excuse
her 3
me,
minutes.
pardon me.
Thank you. Thank you.
She's yielding her 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Which sheet you're on the meeting or the mayor's on the meeting?
Resolution of the village board.
Go ahead, Gary.
Proposed local law of 2024 amending chapter 150 of the village code.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The next resolution is authorizing the clerk to submit a list of all delinquent in village water, sewer charges, rents, fees, assessments, and the like to the county of Orange for levying on the next fiscal year's real property tax bill.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next resolution is authorizing the County of Orange to collect the delinquent taxes. Village taxes.
Make a motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
The next resolution is scheduling the budget workshop for the tentative budgets, a workshop for October 28th at 8 p.m.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the next resolution is setting the public hearing for the budget for November 4th at 8:05 p.m.
Make a motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There was, one more resolution that came through for your review.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I would like to have a word about that resolution. We have a gentleman over here, he's actually in the room, with the name of Abram Halpert. He's standing in the back. Abram, please raise your hand so everybody can see you. Mr. Abram Halpert came forward to the village that he would like to donate 3 vehicles, Chevy Tahoes on his dime, for a public safety initiative. It's a donation of about $225,000 to $250,000 to the village. And everybody is so much grateful for him. That's going to be a savings. That's not going to be on the taxpayers' shoulders. So I think we should do a round of applause to Mr. Halpert.
Thank you, Mr. Humphrey. God bless you.
So this is the resolution regarding, it's no public cannabis law, sorry. So I'll want to read the resolution, or Carrie?
Do you have it?
It's a resolution of the village board authorizing the mayor to accept donation and enter an agreement with the donor.
I make a motion. I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a question, I'm sorry. Who's gonna be driving those cars?
And what will they be doing?
We'll be trying
Who's
to.
paying the insurance? I mean, there's a million questions.
There's no comment. We just got the news. So,
I mean, you just said it's okay, so what?
There's no.
We
Thank
get
you.
to know.
We've
Comments
accepted
are
the donation for now, and then we'll take the next step with the platforms.
I'll make the motion to adopt the action.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who's driving the car? To whom?
Yeah.
To me? You donating the car for me? Cause I'll take it.
Yeah.
And where are they gonna be stored?
What are they gonna do?
Mr. Mayor, if I may, there were some points brought up by public comment, if you would allow me to answer some of them.
Go ahead.
All right. So I'll leave 2 of them for Mr. Fusco, especially there was a point brought up asking about what's going to be done with the water grants. We got 4.7 million in grants and up to 10 in loans. I'll leave that up to Mr. Fusco to explain, as he has
20
prepared
seconds.
extensive intended use report for the state in order to be able to receive that grant, and we thank him for his work. Someone asked about a point person for the sidewalk grant. So this grant is part of next year's budget. It was just appropriated and allocated to be in next year's budget for the village of South Blooming Grove. There's a whole packet that comes with it, and Mr. Fusco will have to prepare a full documentation. Obviously, there's gonna have to be traffic studies done, and areas of importance of which comes first or last. Not something that is gonna be made up overnight. It's based on extensive studies and engineering. I appreciate the point brought up by the resident of 5 Lone Oak. We'll send in the water department because there has been issues for residents that live right next to the tank, especially with flushing of water. They got impacted at first, but I'll make sure that they go in there tomorrow and they look at the situation and they come up with a solution that's absolutely, it shouldn't be like that. Someone mentioned about buses on a cul-de-sac. So for the record, buses are 100% permitted to drive on a cul-de-sac. It's part of the village public road, and they are driving over there. They will continue to be driving over there. We don't want the kids walking down half a street, which puts them even in more danger. Someone asked about the dam, about $100,000 appropriation for repair of the dam. I'll let Al go into that to delve in a little deeper, as he's been working with the DEC. But in short, the dam, the DEC found earlier this year the dam to be compromised. I wouldn't call it leaking exactly, but it needed some sort of enhancement. The integrity wasn't as it was supposed to be. I think it's 40 to 50 years old. And at that point in time, during the winter months, it didn't make sense to do anything. Everything is hard. And we got help from a good friend, County Executive Steve Newhouse, and Commissioner of Public Works, Orange County Commissioner Travis Ewald, and Eric Denega, with helping us pump out how many millions of gallons we pumped out during the winter month to keep it about 10 million gallons to keep it lower. Should overflow. It shouldn't compromise the integrity. But there is some dredging is going to be needed, and making sure the dam can withhold and it gets enhanced as it ages. The property on which the dam is belongs to the village of South Blooming Grove, and any enhancement that's going to be done is actually to the dam, which is situated on the property of the village of South Blooming Grove. I hope that solves any questions. Now, there were some legit concerns brought up about bus safety and the kids. The police department enforces all of the traffic and road safety in the village. They're doing an incredible job. And if someone sees something, they should say something. Even if they have 10 officers of the road, they can't be on all streets at all times, especially during pickup and drop-offs. However, there's a good suggestion is most buses have a phone number which you can reach the school administration. If you see a case that there's a road driver or somebody that's out of line or speeding, you can always call that number. On top of that, feel free to call the police department and they will take care of it promptly as they have been in the past. I will repeat again. We did, in coordination with Sergeant Wakeham, now he is Chief Wakeham, but that was last summer, we did extensive speed tests on multiple important areas in the village. And the tests came back showing that there is not even 2% of riders speeding. The speed tests are in possession of the police department. Whoever wants to see them should go and ask it from the police department. There was someone asking over here about whether about permits not being submitted properly to the town. I'm not sure whether that person was talking in his personal capacity or in his official capacity, but I think we can all admit that there has been a snag with communications, especially official communication with the town, since there was an incident in 2021 where we were sitting actually in this room with the town, signing some intermunicipal agreements, and some documents were snuck in. Either we cannot blame whether it was the town attorney or the town supervisor or whoever it was at the meeting, but there were some documents with illicit intent snuck into those intermunicipal agreements, only for us to find out about it a couple of months later that it was just snuck in a stack of 50 or 100 documents. Since then, obviously, we have to double check everything and make sure that whatever we send them doesn't bite us back. So I can understand the frustration on their end, but it's a frustration that they brought on themselves, and we can't help it. We have to be extra vigilant, and things take time.
And what was this document?
The document was trying to give the town planner full unauthorized access to all village files. Something that was never discussed, was never agreed upon, and they made the mayor sign on something just as they were going through sanitation agreements and highway DP Department of Public Works agreement. They just snuck it in over there with no header, with nothing. And they even technically, I think the document was supposed to be notarized, so I'm not sure on which felony that encroaches on, but we'll leave it at that. But communications have been delayed since, and they have themselves to blame for it. Sorry, we can't help it. There was someone asking about the vehicles for public safety. Again, we're very thankful to Mr. Halpert. As has been discussed by this village board in the past couple of months, there is an initiative down the road. There's no time frame for it, to form a public safety department which will work in conjunction, hand in hand, with the Town of Blooming Grove Police Department. Mr. Chief Wakeham is fully aware of it. He was actually aware of this donation as well. We made him aware of it today. and everybody's on one page. Actually, the communication with the town police department is on a very good level. When we will reach that point, we'll have more information on that.
Were their vehicles donated to the fire department as well?
Okay. Anything else?
Al, if you wanna delve into the IUP that was done for the water grant and the work that was done for the dam, so that the participants have an idea.
A number of things is that with the water grant, 2 years ago we applied for a water grant when we obviously identified the need for additional water. It's taken 2 years to dot all the I's and cross all the T's, but on October 4th, I spoke to our bond counsel and we're having a closing for a $10 million project. 4.7 is a grant from the state of New York, and the balance of the 10 million, which is 5.7 something, would be included as 1.7 as zero interest loans, and the balance at a market rate loan for 40 years. So it's very affordable for the village. We're going to start off working on tying in some wells. We're going to put in a new water tank. That will be over 400,000 gallons up at Fort Worth. We're going to make improvements to the water plant and to the pumping systems. And we have also successfully submitted to the state for future work on the water, which is going to include water meters and replacements of all the pipes. So that is not yet a grant, but we're on a list for that grant, and that will be pursued as well. Regarding Marywald, we had a hurricane sometime back, and we were unable to lower the water in Marywald. There's a valve at the bottom of the lake that heads out towards the stream, and it was frozen closed. So we were not able to do that, and there was quite a bit of flooding on Lakeshore Drive and other areas around Marywald. We applied to FEMA, and we did get some relief for that, but not sufficient. We also had it inspected by the DEC recently, and the dam needs some repairs, and also we need to replace that valve. In order to replace the valve, we have to lower the water level and muck it out so that we can get to the valve to replace it. Now, what Mr. Stern referred to with the county is we had a very big storm probably around 10, 12 months ago, and at that time the levels were rising. We couldn't use the valve to lower the water level, and the County of Orange assisted us, brought us a nice pump, and we pumped the water down to save the property surrounding the lake. So now we're able to move forward with that, and we're looking at it, and we're filing permits for that purpose.
Mr. Fusco, Mr. Fusco, how do you translate that in terms of will we not need to have water brought in? Do you expect that there will be no rust problem? Will we not have restrictions? What's the ultimate function?
It's two-phase, right? First of all, let's get the supply. We want to increase the supply. That's going to be very, very helpful. That's the first phase, the 10 million. The first phase is get more water into the system, right? Which will by itself help because we'll be able to flush more and clean the mains. Right now, we're afraid to flush because two things. One, it makes it dirtier, and two, we have to truck in all that water to do it. So once we have more water out of the wells, we'll be able to do that. Also, with the tank's going to be very, very high. It's going to be on a pedestal. So we'll have better pressures, which will give us fire pressures for the fire departments as well. So that's the main focus of it. And the pumping station and additional treatment will actually benefit it as well. The second phase, which we're applying to also, which we have to write another grant for, but we are on a list for it, is to replace all the pipes. Because right now, there's a lot of pipes. A lot of them are old rusty pipes or cast iron pipes, and there's called which tuberculation, which a 4-inch pipe might be down to 2 inches because it rusts on the inside and it creates like barnacles on the inside. There's other pipes that are asbestos cement pipes that are very brittle, and those are the ones we have been breaking. So we lose a lot of water by over 30 to 40 water breaks a year. So by replacing all the pipes, it'll be a big benefit to it. So the whole system will be a benefit, you know, over the course of a couple of different phases. It's going to take some time, but we are working on it, and we're fortunate that we're able to get a decent amount of grant money and low interest loans.
And since we've gotten the first grant, how long do you project until that phase gets completed?
That phase is going to take about 2 years, and we should have a good start on it. And because this all has to go out to public bid, it's going to be bid by the public. There's a lot of restrictions on it in relationship to, you know, we have to buy American, we have to pay prevailing wage. There's a low to moderate income or a minority and women's business section of it to try to spread it out along the community. But there are a lot of restrictions, but there's a lot of benefits. Thank you.
Can you comment on this that was issued to the V County planning? Law 239. Can you comment on that today?
Let's close this hearing and make a motion to adjourn this hearing. And this is meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Until next time.